Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to the Mother Tressa channel. If you're already familiar with this space, then of course welcome back, but if you're new to this channel, then welcome in. I hope that all the messages find you well. Definitely feel free to come in onto this space and in this channel being your most authentic self, be it positive, negative, or neutral. It really doesn't matter so long as you leave better than you came. That is the primary goal here. If the messages do happen to resonate for you though, do give me a thumbs up, as it helps to let me know that I am actually channeling appropriately. But also subscribe should you feel a resonance with my energy and you want more of it. Be sure to also though turn on the bell notification so that you're made aware as soon as I upload a video. But yes, so I feel like I am leveling up spiritually. For this last month, one of the goals that I did write down in my scribing practices was to ascend to higher levels. And I wasn't specific in that, but definitely spiritually, I feel an ascension of sorts. I drink a lot of tea, and I've come to realize that as I get to the bottom of my teacups, that I'm starting to see images, okay? And so I had some tea maybe 2 hours ago now, before I started in preparation for this video. And once I got to the very bottom, I saw the image of a fetus, okay? And then after I finished shuffling the deck and cut the deck and did all of that in preparation for your reading, I do see that there's the Seven of Pentacles that's at the bottom. So that's definitely some news that's coming in, some sort of message. Outside of the fetus, I did also see a face. So if this is a message from somebody that's coming back from the past, it can be about the birth of a child, or you are the bearer of good news in that way, as far as like miracles with the number 7 vibrationally and what that attributes to on a numerological standpoint, that you are, you've conceived a child and you are in that phase or gestational period, and you giving that news to like family members, friends, or just people that are within your circle of influence that you trust the most to hold that news. Then this can be somebody coming back from the past, again, as I was trying to say, and this person is somebody that you've had some sort of relationship with, because the number 7 is Libra's house, but that house is all about partnerships, marriages, relationships of the sort that are more committal. So this person is going to be fair-skinned, like has a lot of gold or yellow undertones, if not just their overall complexion, but they have dark features. So like brown eyes, really dark chocolate brown hair, and the like. So that is what I saw. Let's see what comes out for you guys though. Okay, what you have as the overall energy is the 9 of Wands, which is some conflicting energy, troublesome energy, as far as you trying to get over the hump to accomplish something. The Cruise that hounds you, you have the 9 of Pentacles. So repeating numbers, 2 9s here, which is also vibrationally your house, or from a numerological standpoint, it belongs to you, Sag. It's the house of expansion and luck, right? The house of fortune, if you will. So also I want to note though that 9s, especially repeating 9s, can speak to somebody that has a very high libido, but as far as a personality, this person is very stubborn, to say the least, okay? Highly independent, doesn't like to rely on anybody else or feel like they are a burden to somebody else, because they understand that everybody has their own problems. So they tend to bottle things up. This can be you. Again, this can be what somebody's done to you and the way that they have repressed their own emotions. But then yet again, in your interaction with them, they could have been a lot more explosive here as an individual, or instigator, or an opportunist in some way, and try to rob you of your good luck and or fortune, and or just your personality and your energy and what you could add in value to the dynamic. However, they weren't reciprocating that energy by being stubborn or stingy in that way. I feel like that is that person that's trying to then make a reappearance into your life. with this energy, if this isn't you and you just being stubborn here. What's real about the situation? You have the Death card, Scorpio's energy. So, oh, okay. All right, Spirit said keep going. What's wrong about the situation? You guys have the Judgment card. What did I say? Somebody trying to come back from the past. And definitely I'm seeing all these dark cards. They have dark features. Y'all won't believe this. Look, where you need more information, you have the Chariot in reverse. But where you guys end up, outcome card, you have the Seven of Pentacles. I'm telling you, somebody's coming in with a message. Page of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. Somebody wants to right their wrongs with you. Now going back to this Death and Judgment energy, what's real and what's wrong about the situation. Now, again, if this has nothing to do with you being involved with anyone and you're just trying to work on regaining or rebuilding, if you will, your own independence and trying to reestablish a footing, if not professionally, then again, just on your personal level with finding your sense of security again and finding your identity and finding also where you fit in with this Nine of Pentacles energy, like where your place is in the world. That's what's coming through heavy. Then that's what you're focusing on, just trying to spend more time with rebuilding that and figuring out your I'll just say like sense of well-being, because I can't get the words to come through how I want them to, but how you're trying to do that apart from your material possessions, okay? Because that can hold a lot of people back. What's real about the situation with this Death energy, because you see here in the depiction that these people are still holding on to their prized possessions or their belongings and not wanting to I want to say usurp, that's the word that's coming through, but does that mean to give up? It's been a long time since I've used that word in my own verbal lexicon in my interactions with people, but in wanting to hold on to things so tightly because you have developed an attachment to them, like almost like a hoarding of energy, or because you strived so hard and worked so hard for it, and it's something that you feel like you deserved. It's not something that you easily want to let go of, because then that will create a vacancy. And I know that there are some individuals that don't do well with blank space. They don't know how to sit still, you know, they don't know how to be by themselves. Those types of people tend to have on a personal level a codependent attachment, and that also can come through with not feeling that sense of security growing up, because there is a lot of red that is sprinkled throughout this spread, and that goes back to the root chakra. I feel like a lot of you guys need to do a lot more root work, which also came through a little bit in Scorpio's reading. So you might have a Sagittarius sun placement, but you can be a Scorpio rising or a moon, or that affect one of your other houses, namely like your ninth house, and the way that you expand, and or the way that you transform a certain space again. So definitely look at that reading, but it's having to do that root work and you feeling like what you have is the best that it could ever be, and then so you cling to it. But this is you having to develop more of an imagination and also more of a belief, and sticking with your convictions and understanding that though you may not see it materialize very quickly with this Page of Wands energy that's at the bottom, which is all about instant gratification and seeing things or demanding things and then wanting to see them in front of your face as soon as you recognize that you have the desire for it. Okay, but it's like it's sticking to the conviction that what it is that you know that you need on a soulful level, and what is actually supposed to be a part of your mission, is worth waiting for, if you will. So in the meantime, your patience in essence, right? Because we were talking about stubbornness. Your patience really is all about character development at this time. And it really shows you who you are while you wait, how you behave and how you act while you wait for the things that you desire and that are actually meant for you, that actually have your energetic signature attached to it. Things have to get worse before they get better. I'm surprised you guys don't have the tower that's sitting out here, but it kind of feels like that energy, that impending doom, and that acknowledgement of the fact that certain changes and events that are transpiring over your life are fated to happen, and they are inevitable. You cannot escape them. You cannot run from them also. So be very careful with that. Be very careful of the way that you I want to say that you respond to certain situations. You know, that sympathetic versus parasympathetic response that we have, that fight or flight type of energy when we face certain challenges, or energetically or emotionally have to deal with certain emotions. I feel like I just repeated myself there. Sorry for any redundancy that's coming through with this reading too. But things that are uncomfortable to us. Okay, so just be very careful of the way that you respond to those things that don't feel naturally comfortable to you, and wanting to run away from certain problems, because they're only going to go where you physically are. Whatever's happened, especially if it's in regards to a relationship, it wasn't supposed to cause such psychological damage and or physical damage. Now, if you're running away from somebody that was physically harming you, then kudos to you for being brave enough to get out of that situation, okay? But then you have to know that it's not going to be of your highest good to go back to that, especially if this person comes in, because with Wands energy, those types of people and individuals, they can come off as extremely charming, but they only do it to disarm you. And then once they have you back within like their reach, there's another word that I want to use, but it's not coming to. But once they have you, you know, back within their grasp, then things only get exponentially worse from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to accept apologies, but I feel like distance is going to definitely help you heal a lot better than having to be so enmeshed with this person and letting them be so close to you at this time. Also understanding that sometimes closure has to come through on a personal level, and what you decide to do with what has happened again to you on any level. And this can also be professionally, it doesn't have to be romantic. Like, it's okay to write yourself a letter and get all of your emotions out in that way, and then with this Wands energy, burning it to release it. So there are different ways to do it. You can also take a letter, write it, and submerge it in water until all the words disintegrate and the paper disintegrates, and then you expel of the water, and that is the way that you release and you close out that chapter or that transgression, and to really let go of that pain. There are other ways to do it than having to physically meet with people face to face. That's not always necessary. Because you are a fire sign, much like myself, by Western tropical astrology, and so you can tend to move a lot faster than your brain can think and act impulsively, which can then put you in like unnecessarily problematic situations, okay? So again, it's all a part of your learning, and like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. You know, trusting when somebody says that the stove is hot and not wanting to touch it out of your own curiosity. There are just some things that you can't afford to involve yourself with, but at this very least, you're figuring out how you can distribute the wealth of knowledge that you encompass, or in the way that you acquire it, and what you can go forth and do with it with another partnership. If it's not romantic, then it's in business. But that's what's coming through, Sagittarius. So if this reading resonated, give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family. Subscribe if you haven't, and book with me should you need to. But if I don't hear from you, then please just take care of yourself and your soul until you hear from me again. Ciao.